Okay, so for this 1.5 hour seminars, my focus of the days will then be karangan and also to go through some ringkasans with you in terms of the writing, the templates, how you should present your answers in exam. Okay, so it will be like this. My focus of the days, of course, will mainly focus on the essay first, but of course not to do the complete essay, but it's teach you more towards the technique, how you're supposed to apply for the technique. So right now, over here, you will notice that for your nota, you will be getting these notes and it will split into 4 sections. The first one, it will be the format. The format's according to the WhatsApp. So we'll be getting like kertas satu and also kertas dua. Then you will be getting some short notes regarding what are the notes that you will need to take notes whenever you are doing the karangan pendek, the long essay. And then novel, ulasan, and ringkasan, it will be more towards the templates on how you should present your answers in exam. Then after that is the model paper. So the seminars, I will be using a model paper, and then the model papers will be the questions that I use to explain the technique to you. So the karangan technique I will apply by using the questions in this model paper. And of course, the model paper prepared is for your own practice and reference as well, because the answers is provided, so no worries. So you may take this as the practice for you to spam the question. Then it's a novel. Okay. As for the novel here, right? Because you have 4 novel in total, the 4 novel, it means according to the zona. So if you scan the QR codes in page 19, okay, let me show you first. So if it's in page 19, it's over the page 19, over here, you will notice there is a QR code, this one. So let's scan the QR code first and double check. Let me know whether you are able to access or not. If you couldn't access, then you let me know. Maybe I will need to do some setting. Okay. So when you scan these QR codes, it will direct you to the PDF files. And then the PDF files, it will be the notes for all the novel or the all 4 zone novel. So in the nota, I will also list out that if you are in this stage, what are the novels that you will be learning. So if you are in the Klang Valley, which is the KL, the Selangor, so for the KL and Selangor, you will be learning for the Tawanan Commander Concursus. So as I told you last week, we will learn the Tawanan Commander Concursus in April, which in week 4. So for all my online and physical students, we will learn it in like next week. Okay, because like tomorrow is week 3, then one more week it will be week 4. So we will do the nova in week 4, yeah? Okay, then I go back to the nota first. So start off with the formats. The formats I will just touch and go because right now you are from 3 already. So for sure you are very familiar with the formats because from 1, 2, 3 the format is the same. 2 paper, the first paper is the grammar paper. So you will have 3 sections. Bahagian A is the MCQ question. Bahagian B, you will have like kesalahan ejaan, kesalahan bahasa, and pemahaman novel is over here in this section. Bahagian C, you will need to choose one. Pilih dan jawab satu daripada 2 soalan. So by right, if the school teachers, right, they really follow the SPM pattern. The formats that requires by the governments are set by the governments. So by right, in the bahagian C, right, your teachers will need to give you 2 options. So normally in Form 3, they will come up ringkasan and ulasan, ask you to choose. And rumusan by right, it should be Form 2. But just now in the previous class, quite a lot of them told me that the teacher is teaching them rumusan in class. So I just would like to double check with you. Any of your school teacher teach you rumusans right now in school? Because right now you're from 3 already. So any of your school teachers still teaching you rumusan? Or they focus more on ulasan or ringkasan? Okay, it's more towards on the ringkasan ulasan. I still got students told me that the teachers teach on the rumusan, but majority is ulasan lah. Only let you all do rumusan so far. Well, this is a bit scary though. Okay, so never mind. I will go through some not just a technique lah, but it's like some things for you to remember so that you will not make that mistakes for ringkasan. Because if you know how to do ringkasan, rumusans will not be a problem for you. Rumusan, you will just need to add in the pendahuluan penutup. So for the rumusan ringkasan, I will just do it at the end of seminar. Okay, the last part. Ringkasan so far, not even rumusan or ulasan. Okay, so most of you is just the ringkasan. All right. Now, so after that, the next one, it will be kertas dua. As for kertas dua, right, you will have two sections. Bahagian A is a short essay. Bahagian B is a long essay. Now, the short essay, the karangan pendek, right? Actually, the karangan pendek, it's very similar with your ulasan. These two. They are very similar. Why am I mentioning that they are very similar is because both of it is a short essay. But the only difference mainly is on the words limit. As for the ulasan, you will need to write 80 to 100. From a minimum 80 to a maximum 100. Okay. For the nota, you may go to the website. Okay, the TTC website and download it because there is the PDF file. Then for the for the karangan pendek, it will be from 50 to 80. So the difference is like this. The short essay is 50 to 80, and then ulasan it will be 80 to 100. Then it will be the long essay. Long essay, you got 3 questions, but then you will only choose one. Okay, so before I move on to this one, let me tell you about the short essay, some things regarding the short essay. As for the short essay, right, the next paragraph, how many paragraphs you will need to write? Actually, it's 1, 3, or 5 paragraphs. You are not wrong. It's just that most of the teachers, the practice right now is either 1 or 3. 5 paragraphs, I rarely see it that the teacher asks students to write 5 paragraphs nowadays. Last time, yes, but then nowadays, like, not really much. I mean, like, not really teacher asks you to write in 5 paragraphs already because they will ask you to write in either 1 or 3. Imagine this way, if it's a 5 paragraph, meaning to say you will need to write like 50 to 80 words. So if it's 5 paragraphs, it will probably be like 1 paragraph is only 1 sentence. So most of the teachers will go for 1 or 3. But then 1 or 3, it depends on the school teachers you need to follow. If your school teachers wanted you to do in 5, then you follow. Because 1, 3, 5, it's acceptable. It's just that most of the teachers, they will go for 1 or 3 only. If your teachers want you to do 5, then you follow. Okay. Dear man, what is your school? I mean, like, from which school? Because so far, I don't really see teacher asking to write in 5. So I just a bit curious only. So your teacher want you to write in 5. Which school you from? Now, this one, it depends on your school teacher. So you must follow the school teacher. Oh, okay. Yeah, why? Because of from 1, from 2, you did the karangan pendek already from 1 and from 2. So maybe the teachers they just never do the revisions with you. But no matter how karangan pendek for sure will come out 1. Because in your paper 2, you will have 40 marks. So 40 marks, 10 marks is the karangan pendek, and then 30 is the karangan umum. So no matter how it will be lah. Huh? You are not from SK school. I mean Jovin. I'm not SK, SMK, the government school. If it's government school, then for sure your teachers will ask you to do because it's part of the exam. How can part of the exam then your teachers never ask you to do and never teach you to do? But it's come out in exam. So cute one. Oh, that's why your Form 3 teachers never ask you to do because they will assume that you already know how to do. Wait, SJ is what? Subang Jaya will never be right. SMK Subang Jaya? Huh? I got quite a lot of Subang Jaya students, but I never heard about that before. A bit special. Okay, so come back to this one. Now, so 135 over here, then how are you supposed to write in the paragraph? I mean, like, how are you supposed to do it? For the pengenalan, it's something regarding the jelaskan topik. So jelaskan topik. Later when I do the essay, you will know how should we jelaskan topik. Then after that, this one is the given's ideal. This one is your own ideal. This is your ideal sendiri. So you will need to write out and also the penutup. Penutup for adverbs will follow the flow of watak, cadangan, harapan. So watak, cadangan, harapan here, everything's all the technique here. I will do it in the karangan umum later. Then you will know. You just copy down first for this one. So 135 depends on your school teacher and make sure you will not write out of 80, not write more than 80. Okay, then the next one, this one, this part, you will know how we do it later because I've applied the technique in the long essay. Okay, then over here, it will be the karangan umum. Okay, look at the karangan umum because our focus will be the essay writing like that. So for the karangan umum, right, for the long essay here, how many questions you will need to choose only one? Why do you need to read all the questions? Because you got 3 questions and then you will need to choose one. Then you will need to analyze the questions by using the technique. We will use it as a topic, kata kunci, and also format. Okay, then is the rangka karangan. Spend about 5 minutes. What does this mean? First of all, formats referring to some things like, let's say, the rencana, the ucapan, and also the not ulasan, rencana, ucapan, surat, all of it. Then this one you will need to identify yourself. Then after that, it will be kata kunci. As for the kata kunci, it will be the EC. And what does it mean by the EC parts there? Okay, if you look at page 5, muka surat 5. If you look at page 5 here, have you seen this list? Senarai synonyms untuk kata kunci. So as for this kata kunci, right, I need you to like spend some time to memorize everything here. The reason is because that it will be very useful until your form 5. Reason, it will not just help you in the essay, it will also help you to analyze the pemahaman questions, the comprehension question. Because for the pemahaman questions, example, for question 2 and question 3, normally they will ask you about what would be the cara, the factor, the cassette. So if you're able to identify the kata kunci, then you will know what to answer. And also ringkasan. Ringkasan, if you don't understand your tajuk, then you cannot find out the points already. So what if right now they don't want to use manfaat? They give you like kemaslahatan. Kemaslahatan amalan membaca. Then you will never know that, oh, kemaslahatan is actually the benefit. That's why please memorize everything here. At least you need to be familiar because until form 5, you will need it. That's why the EC referring to the page 5. After you have got the kata kunci, then you will know what you need to write for the content parts. Then it's a topic. So basically for all the essays, you will have a topic. Whether you will need to write for the amalan membaca, gaya hidup sehat, kemalangan jalan raya. So this is all the topic. Then after you have gotten your topic and the kata kunci, then spend 5 minutes to brainstorm the idea. You may start off writing the essay. The technique here, the TYEK, SHYEK, and also the KCH. Now, the TYEK, we are referring to as a topic, Y, effect, and then kata kunci. The SHYEK is easy. How, why, effect, and conclusive. This will be the conclusive. Cadangan and harapan. Okay, so I will apply this technique in the essay later. So which will be the questions from the model paper. Okay, so actually how do we derive the TYEK everything here? Now, the TYEK, then the SHYEK, KCH. A lot of students will get confused with the K here. Always remember this is not conclusive because of this is the pendahuluan. You just started your essay. So when you just started your essays, you will not conclude the essay yet. That's why it will be the keywords. Then the conclusive, it will be in isi and penutup. So right now, we will need to do the analysis first to apply this one in the question. So I need you to flip to your nota, which is your page 8. So if you look at your page 8, this will be the exam type questions because you will be getting 3 questions. So you will need to do the analysis. Now, the very first step over here, they ask you to choose only one question and then you can never write less than 180. So how many words you will need to write whenever you are from 3? Over here, it just mentions not less than 180, which means you need to write more than 180 lah. So from 3, I always tell my students you will need to write 300 to 350 already. Because next year when you become Form 4 and Form 5, the requirements for you, it will be a minimum 350 and a maximum of 500. So when you are Form 4 and Form 5, Form 4 it means next year lah, it will be a minimum of 350 and a maximum of 500. So right now, you guys don't know me. Because Form 1, I keep on telling you all that you will need to write 200 to 250. And then Form 2 is 250 to 300. So Form 3, it will be 300 to 350. The reasons I keep on mentioning is because of Form 4 and Form 5, your SPM level. Oh my God, seriously? GG. Then right now you need to know. Now, you still got 1.5 year to go, so it's okay. Now, Form 4 and Form 5, remember lah, it will be the minimum 350 and a maximum of 500. Remember this because that's the standards of SPM lah. So right now you will need to write 300 to 350 already, or else it will be very, very, very difficult for you when you go to next year. And that's the reasons why most of the people, when they attend become Form 4 already, they will feel the first term exam because it's totally different. And in the SPM level, you will be getting 4 papers in total. 4 papers, it means that you will have one is the purely essay paper, 100 marks. The other ones, it will be the Tata Bahasa, it is also 100. Then paper 3 and paper 4, it will be the speaking test and the listening test. So for the SPM standard, your BM, it will be the total of 300 marks. It seems like you're very surprised, There is peribahasa because in the paper 2, you will have one question is regarding the peribahasa one. It will be like 4 to 6 marks. Oh my God, Sebastian. Hi. Hey, you guys don't know never mind lah. Right now you need to know already So remember, school teacher never tell you Seriously? Never mind. So right now you need to know 300 to 350 is your Form 3 standard because Form 4 and Form 5, this is it So how many paragraph you will need to write? 6 paragraph. Don't be so surprised right now already. Okay, you still got time. Please never ever continue with like 230, 250, 270. No, right now your minimum, please write 300. Or else the requirements will still telling you the same thing, 180. That's the one thing I really don't like, which is Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, they keep on telling you not less than 100, not less than 180. But when it's go to Form 4, they suddenly jump until the minimum of 350. So when the students do know, they'll be very shocked. Okay, so let's continue with the question. Teknologi maklumat dan komunikasi pemangkin kemajuan. So pemangkin, it means the catalyst, which is something for it to speed up. It's mentioned that the TMK, the technology, is something that speed up the kemajuan of a country. So this is something to speed up. Now, we go through the questions right now. We will need to apply langkah 1, langkah 2, baca soalan and the topik kata kunci format. So by looking at this one, daya kreativiti dan inovasi dalam kalangan murid kini it means nowadays menjadi antara keutamaan dalam pembelajaran di sekolah. So that mentions that the creativity and the innovation is very important because it's already become something that most of the school they are focusing during the teaching process. Bincangkan usaha-usaha yang boleh dilakukan. So, usaha-usaha it will be the synonym as cara-cara untuk memupuk daya kreativiti dan inovasi dalam kalangan murid. So, we know that we will need to discuss about the usaha. It means what are the steps, what are the methods. Memupuk apa? Daya kreativiti dan inovasi dalam kalangan murid. So basically, the entire essay you will need to mention about the daya creativity dan inovasi. So this will be the topic. And then usaha-usaha is the kata kunci. Is there any format here? No, they never ask you to sediakan teks ucapan, balaskan surat, or tuliskan sebuah rencana. They never ask you to do so. So they just ask you to discuss, bincangkan. It will be the format, there will be like no formats writing. So it's karangan pendapat or karangan fakta. Then, question 2. Dalam kepantasan jaringan komunikasi, it means a communications network. Masyarakat perlu seiring dengan. Seiring, it means like in line with. It must be in line with or parallel with. Kemajuan teknologi, tulis sebuah rencana tentang kepentingan membina generasi kreatif dan inovatif ke arah pembangunan negara maju. So they ask you to write rencana. Rencana is article. So this will be format. And what would be the formats for an article in which, let's say right now, this one is your paper, your exam paper, your answer sheets are. So in that paper, right, in the middle of the papers, you will need to write out the tajuk, but without any underline. So this will be the tajuk, no underline, then it will be the author name, nama penulis. After that, you may just start off with the normal essay writing. That's it. So the format is only this part. This will be the format. So basically, whenever the karangans, right, the essay writings require you to write out the format, you need to be extra careful is that for all the tajuk, not format, for all the tajuk that you need to write down in the karangan, always remember it must be a capital letter for all the first alphabet. A capital letter for all the first alphabet. This is compulsory. So meaning to say, for this essay, what would be the tajuk here? Kepentingan membina generasi kreatif dan inovatif towards the pembangunan negara maju, which means the country development. So this will be the tajuk. You may just copy and paste the whole phrase here with the capital letter of all the words, but there is exceptions rule. Okay, it must be huruf besar untuk setiap perkataan. Okay, but then it is not applied for the kata sendi nama or the kata hubung. Irin, you can write either one because they never mentions who is a penulis. So you just write out your name, you as the penulis. So the nama penulis, it means that your name also can, or you want to come up with any other name also can, doesn't matter. Okay, so meaning to say the K, the M, the G, the K, I, A, P, N, M, it must be the capital letter. But the dan and also ke, it will remain. Because for tajuk, there is two things. Huruf awal, huruf besar untuk setiap huruf awal. But there is exception, pengecualian. The exception is for kata hubung and also kata sendi nama. Kata hubung is like dan atau. Kata sendi nama is the preposition. So ke, dari, daripada. Then you just copy and paste the whole tajuk. Kepentingan membina generasi kreatif dan inovatif ke arah pembangunan negara maju. You just copy down. All the first alphabets, capital letter, except dan, ke, remain small letter for all the words because it's the kata hubung and kata sendi nama. Then after that, write down your name. Only then to write down the name. Remember, no underline after the tajuk. Can Then this essay you will need to write about the kepentingan. Kepentingan is the kata kunci. So basically, kepentingan it will be the same as benefit. Teacher, benefit is like, kebaikan is a benefit. Why is it kepentingan is also benefit? I thought kepentingan it will be important. Yes, you are correct. But always remember in this way. Why is this important? Because it will bring you benefits. It will give you benefits. That's why it is important. So whenever you see kepentingan in your exam, right? Over here, actually it will be the same category as faedah, manfaat. They are the same because it's bring you benefits. That's why it's important. Okay, then this one is about what? Kepentingan membina generasi kreatif dan inovatif ke arah pembangunan negara maju, isn't it? So the entire passage, okay, the essay, you will need to write something related to this creative and innovative. So this will be the topic. Set. Kepentingan is also interest, right? Interest, it means like menarik not keminatan, berminat. What I mean, like which karangan the topic you are trying to mention first? Because if you want to mention interest, can it be interest? Not really, like, because if it's interest, then it will be like the berminat, keminatan. Okay, then number 3. Bersempena projek Taman Sains di sekolah yang melibatkan semua ahli persatuan sains, Anda diminta menulis satu laporan, and this is so obvious. Laporan is the thing, but then laporan is also the questions that most of the students love to write, but it's also the questions that most of the students that cannot score high marks for laporan. Why? Okay, whenever there is laporan, it's because maybe there is program or there is event. That's why you will need to write down the reports for the programs and also event. So this is because there is a project Taman Sains. That's why you will need to write down the reports regarding this project Taman Sains. That whenever there is the project or whenever there is the reports that you will need to write, students will only write down the activity by telling, okay, what are the activities today and also how many people participate and what happened, that's it. But actually, laporan, in order to score high marks, right, what you need to write is you will need to mention about the purpose of them having this project and the purpose of them, why are they organizing this event. So it will be tujuan. And also what will be the benefits, manfaat, if they participate in this event. Okay, so let's say if the program is the sambutan Hari Kemerdekaan in school, so maybe there is an activities where there is a group activity that gather people together and then to play games together. So maybe whenever you mention about the tujuan is what? Untuk mengeratkan hubungan murid-murid di sekolah, or untuk mengeratkan hubungan murid antara kaum. Then the manfaat is what? The manfaat is that murid-murid dapat memupuk nilai bekerjasama, dapat memupuk nilai saling membantu, hormat menghormati semasa bermain permainan tersebut or semasa menjalankan aktiviti tersebut. So that's it. So I can put the points from 2 to 3. You means like to write out in the point, or you are asking me for the number 2 and number 3. What do you mean like from 2 to 3? Okay. The kepentingan over here. Yes, correct. But then you will need to look at it as in like this is more towards the country, and then this will be more towards like personal. This one. Project Taman Sains. Yes, this will be more towards the murid. Okay, so for the kepentingan. So over here, a lot of students that will just stop over activity. Like what are the activity, but they never really discuss and mentions about the purpose and manfaat. That's why your karangan is always like below 20, maybe like 50 or 60 like that. And in secondary school, this is what the teachers want. So this is the kata kunci. You will need to explain what are the activity, what are the purpose, and also what will be the benefits. Okay. So from here, laporan, it will be the format, and then the topic, it will be the project. Because why are you writing the laporan? Because of this project. And then the kata kunci, which is the easy. This is what you need to explain. So in exam, we already come up 1, 2, 3. How are you supposed to choose the question? If you know the formats for rencana and laporan, of course you may go ahead. But if you are not so sure, especially for laporan, how are you supposed to write down, then please don't choose. So it's always best to write karangan pendapat, karangan fakta, unless you are very familiar with the format, or else we will not do that. Can I? Then over here, the next one. Now, so I do the summary a bit about what we have found in the question just now. Topic 1 is about the daya creativity. Inovasi. Kata kunci is usaha. Format it will be karangan, pendapat, or fakta. Okay. Question 2, it will be the generasi kreatif. Dan inovatif. And this is the kepentingan. And the format will be rencana. Okay. And then, sorry Kemaslahatan. Caris, are you asking me that one? You may refer to the page 5. Is it page 5? The page 5 or page 4 just now? Kemaslahatan. Okay, that one is the another words for manfaat. So if you need the words for keburukan, then it will be kemudaratan. Okay. Divashni. If I pronounce wrong your name, you let me know. If you ask me, karangan fakta. Why? Because this is also how you can score in the SPM karangan. So we will always spam students and also to boost students on the karangan fakta. And you will have the speaking test in the upper form. So the speaking test in the upper forms, they will like give you the karangan question. So you will need to brainstorm the ideas about in 3 minutes time, then you will need to deliver your opinions already. So karangan fakta and pendapat is the type of the essay that I always ask my students to spend on it. Yes, cerita is one of it. So don't choose, because in SPM, if can, try to avoid cerita. SPM, you got no cerita at all. Huh? So sad. Okay, Caris, let me finish off the soalan 3. Later on, I let you to screenshot. But then, guys, whoever that got no notes, right? You go to the TTC website right now. Open up your screen, okay? The Google, then you type TTC website. Then you click onto TTC website. You can get the PDF file. Why am I asking you to do so? I have a copy with me right now. PDF, this is seminar, and this is 2025, and you are Form 3. Luckily, I did the notes for Form 3. Form 3, nota, seminar, okay. Wait, I need to send to everyone in meeting. Check your chat box, chat box. Waha. Wait, let me see my words first. Waha, where is Waha? Usaha, my dear, sorry. My bad. Okay, then number 3, it will then become the project. Taman Science. After that, the kata kunci, it will be the activity, isn't it? And also you will need to mention the tujuan and also the kepentingan, which is the manfaat lah. They are the same. Then after that, it will be the format laporan. Okay, everybody, you got a PDF file, whoever that got no files with you. So, after we have analyzed everything here, our choice of the pilihan, it will be soalan satu for sure. Because rencana you can choose, provided that you know the formats where you will need to write down the tajuk and also the names for the author, which is your name lah. Then it's a normal essay already. So it's very, very, very similar to the karangan fakta. So from here, it will be soalan satu. Why? Because got no format. Hehe. Okay, so right now, we already finished the analysis part. Then the next one we will need to do is the technique part. So for the technique parts, we'll have the openings, the pendahuluan, it will be the T1EK, then the EC, it will be the SH1EK, and also the endings, it will be the KCH, isn't it? Then you will notice that, teacher, we got no space already. Well, the next one, it will be the questions for the ABCD already. So right now, whoever that's with notes are, I need you to flip to your last page of this nota. Last page. Have you seen there will be like a catatan? Okay, it's a blank page. Writing out catatan. So whoever that got no notes right now, you just take out a piece of paper will do. Okay, a piece of paper will do. Then. Okay, then right now what we do is, I will start off the technique. So if you are blurred with the technique, you'll let me know. Because if you really master with the technique, let me tell you, whatever kind and whatever type of the topics that come out in exam for the soalan, I mean like for the karangan, it will not be problems for you already. Okay, now over here, we do it step by step. Don't be nervous and panic of writing down everything first. Now, you may copy down the pendahuluan T1EK, then the topic over here. I will do it step by step with you. So what I will do right now is I will write down in this way by telling you in point form, because I need you to learn up to how you should trigger your idea, to trigger the point. So after you know how you should trigger the idea to trigger the point, then after I finish off the TYEK, SHYEK, and the KCH, later on, I will give you an example of how I put everything in a paragraph. So I will show you the complete versions of pendahuluan, isi, and penutup. That one, I will let you to take a pictures for that. No worries with the definitions of some kosakata. Okay, because I prepare already. So right now, I need you to follow my step first. The first one. For the TYEK, the topic Y effect kata kunci. So the topic here for the first question, soalan satu that we choose one it will be the daya creativity dan inovasi, isn't it? So it will be dalam kalangan murid, and then we are discussing about the usaha. But that's, we talk about the topic first. Daya creativity dan inovasi in the society nowadays, especially in school also. Then, how are you supposed to explain whenever it comes to topic? It can be two ways. The good one or the bad one. So you can say whether like right now the society is really pay attention to it, semakin mementingkan, menitik beratkan, or the other one, semakin mengabaikan, semakin memikirkan, which means they are neglected and they do care about the developments for this area. So it's like which part? So whichever depends on how you wanted to start your essay. So like right now, the creativity and also the inovasi is very important. So you can say by telling, daya creativity dan inovasi semakin dititik beratkan. Dititik beratkan, it means dipentingkan, where everybody focus on it and pay attention to emphasize, to value this. So this one is dipentingkan, diutamakan. Dalam perkembangan kendiri. Perkembangan kendiri referring to the self-improvement or self-development. Murid, it means students. Students, it means teenage. So it can also be like the younger generation. Then, menjelaskan sebab berlakunya keadaan tersebut. Then we explain on why is these situations would happen. What are the situations here? Semakin dititik beratkan, isn't it? And why is it semakin dipentingkan? Okay. Because we can mention that this is so important. Daya kreativiti dan inovasi amat mustahak. So mustahak, it means penting. It's very important dalam membentuk informing individu yang let me write it properly. Keterampilan. Berketerampilan, it's mean berupaya. You are capable. You have the ability. Okay, what is kendiri? Kendiri is the same as sendiri. You know sendiri, right? You yourself. So, teacher, what would be the difference of kendiri and sendiri then? Now, kendiri, you can only use it with the conditions that it must pair with a kata nama. So, it's like self-reflection. We would say refleksi kendiri. So if you want to mention like self-practice, then it will be like latihan kendiri. So kendiri, it means self. You are capable and you have the ability is berketerampilan. It means berkeupayaan. Berkebolehan. Okay, then the effect, the ia, jelaskan kesan jika topik diabaikan ataupun dipentingkan. So it depends on how we explain the topic just now. And also about what would happen, because right now it's effect. So what would happen if we neglected this part? Since we already mentioned that this is so important, then what if the countries that don't really improve and focus on this part? So what happened then? Or since we know that this is so important, so the government, the school, and the society, they also keep on focusing on this part and also to teach, to educate the teenage, the students, how should they improve in their creativity and also innovasi. So it depends on how you wanted to explain. Now, let's say, if we talk about the abaikan, okay, since we mentioned it's so important already, but still, we don't really like look into it and that kreatif dan inovasi diabaikan, then for sure, golongan belia. So golongan belia, it means golongan muda, the teenager, tidak dapat bersaing, compete dengan negara lain. So you see, we already mentioned it's so important in forming membentuk individu yang berketerampilan. So if we ignore it, then what would happen? The teenage that are not capable enough, they could not compete with other peoples or other country. Then eventually, what happens to our country? Being locked down, dipandang serong. Negara kita dipandang serong. Belia, it means mudah. It's like the teenage like that. So generasi belia, okay, I write down. It will be generasi muda. Dipandang serong, it means like dipandang rendah. Or dipandang ringan. Then the next one. The last sentence in your paragraph, what do you need to write is to emphasize and also to repeat again the kata kunci and topic. Because the next paragraph, you are writing down the easy already. So meaning to say you will be telling the teachers about what are the steps can be taken. So just to repeat again, to remind your teachers that, all right, so right now the next paragraph, it will be something like this. That's why kata kunci here, to repeat the usaha, And then the topic to repeat, the daya kreativiti dan inovasi. And then, why do we need to find out? Because in the last sentence, you should say, oleh itu kita perlu meneliti. It means that to observe and to find out usaha-usaha untuk memupuk daya kreativiti dan inovasi dalam kalangan murid. And then kalangan murid, it means like the teenage, isn't it? And why do we need to do so? Because the teenage, that will be like the future pillars of our country. So if it's the future pillar of our country, you may mention that oleh itu, kita perlu meneliti usaha-usaha untuk memupuk daya kreativiti dan inovasi dalam kalangan murid kerana. And that's with the peribahasa. Pemuda harapan bangsa. No worries, are later in the complete paragraph. I will show you. So I also include this peribahasa insights already. Right now, I need you to understand how I apply the technique. Harapan bangsa, pemudi, tiang negara. It means they are the future pillar of our country. Okay, so far for the pendahuluan, can you still follow? Anything to clarify? If you don't have, then I will move on to the easy. Let's see. So let's see. If you scared you forgot the meaning, this will be like the youth. So this will be like the teenage or the remaja lah. Okay, so right now the next one. Now, by looking at the next paragraph, it will be the EC. So as for the EC here, what do we have? Okay, we have the SHYEK. So basically, this is how we should think about the SHYEK. Now, the first one, tulis isi utama. So in the questions they just mentioned about usaha memupuk, isn't it? Dalam kalangan murid, but they never mentions who will be the character to carry out the efforts or to carry out the steps in order to memupuk. So, can. Okay, so over here, let's say lah, whenever we want to say memupuk, of course, murid ma pihak sekolah can, but ibu bapa. Okay, then teacher, I know already ibu bapa menjadi suri teladan. Okay. Other than menjadi suri teladan, which means become the role model, your parents can do a lot of things. So over here, creativity and inovasi is all about your creative, isn't it? So what the parents can do is that to sharpen, mengasah daya creativity dan inovasi anak-anak. The anak-anak referring to the murid as well. So over here, you can mention is the parents, ibu bapa, what they can do. Ibu bapa got no dash. Mengasah. Teacher, what is mengasah? To sharpen. To sharpen their ability in terms of the daya creativity dan inovasi murid sejak kecil. Teacher, if I write sejak kecil, it makes me, it's remind me of the peribahasa. Can I include it? Yes, because whenever we mention sejak kecil, then it will be melentur bulu biala dari berbungnya. If you wanted to put it in, no problem, because it's relevant. It means to educate since they were young. Okay, to educate since they were young. So the next one, bagaimanakah? So you ask, how? How can we carry out this one? You mentioned that the parents will need to sharpen, mengasah daya kreativiti dan inovasi murid. Bagaimanakah ibu bapa boleh melakukan usaha tersebut? So over here, you can mention, all right, so of course the parents need to give exposures to the kids, let them to try on it and let them to expose to it. So memberikan pendedahan. But teacher, how do they can memberikan pendedahan? So exposures means that they will need to know about all this thing and let them to try on it. Maybe to bring them over to like all the pameran-pameran or melawat petrol sites. So you can say like membawa mereka melawat ke petrol sites. Okay, then the next one, mengapakah? Why? Why is it the above actions? It's work. Okay, then you can explain because it could help them to open up their eyesight. Membuka mata. Membuka mata not literally to open up your eyes. It's like to open up your eyesight. So membuka mata is the simpulan bahasa. This one is a simpulan bahasa. Membuka mata dan memberikan cetusan ide baharu kepada anak-anak. So they will be able pendedahan, this is P-E-N. Pendedahan, it means exposure. It means that to give them exposure, to let them expose to some things that related to the creativity and also inovasi. That's why to bring them to the petrol site. So this is pendedahan. Okay, so for the why, it will then let them to think out of the box. So when they're able to think out of the box, that's why they will become creative. Berpikir di luar kotak. Then the kesan, the effect. Okay, right now it will be the effect already. Kesan jika melakukan tindakan tersebut secara berterusan. So if the parents continues to sharpen, then what happened? Then it will become generasi belia or murid-murid or the anak-anak tidak cerdik dalam ilmu seperti apa? Okay, seperti kata di bawah tempurung. So kata di bawah tempurung referring to someone that have a very shallow knowledge. Not knowledgeable enough lah. Okay, then the last one already. The conclusi, ulang semula, is like to repeat. So the conclusi in the easy part is where you will need to repeat again the point. The point here we mentioned about ibu bapa, isn't it? What the parents need to do. So the parents play a very important role, isn't it? That's why the conclusions here you may explain that ibu bapa berperanan penting. They have a very important role dalam melatih in training daya creativity dan inovasi murid. Okay, up until here. Can follow? Can understand how I apply the SHYEK? So it was started off the points with what the parents need to sharpen. After that, how the parents sharpen to give them exposure and also to bring them to patrocize. So this is a bit like the contonia, misalnya example like that. Then why they need to do so and why is it will be work? Because it can open up their eyesight so that they are able to think out of the box, become more creative. Then the effect, they will not become kata di bawah tempurung anymore. Then the conclusion, parents play a very important role. So this is how the SHYEK will. Okay, can I? If can, then we will proceed to the penutup with the KCH. Shall we? All right, so we look at the next one. The next one, it will be your penutup. Okay, so let's see. As for the penutup here, over here, konklusi, cadangan, and also the harapan. All right. Now, the ayat konklusi is the conclusions for the topic. So this will not be the conclusions for the EC. It's different now. In the SHYEK, the conclusion is only for the EC. But then over here, this conclusion is for the topic. What does this mean, a conclusion for the topic? Our topic is what? Daya creativity dan inovasi. So over here, what we could say is, okay, creativity dan inovasi. It will give a really huge impact towards pembangunan negara. Why? Because in the pendahuluan we already mentioned, if the golongan belia, they are not, they do not have the daya creativity dan inovasi, so they will not be able to compete with other countries. So our country will be looked down. That's why we will need to find out what are the ways in order to memupuk the daya creativity dan inovasi, isn't it? Because the youth are the hope of the country. That's why there will be the huge impact towards the country development. So over here, what you could mention is that memberikan impact yang besar kepada pembangunan negara. Then you will need to add it with the cadangan harapan. So watak is the character. Cadangan basically is we are referring to the course of actions or maybe the suggestions to be taken. Harapan is more towards the kesan positive. So the kesan positive here for sure is like to melahirkan generasi muda or melahirkan murid-murid yang berkreatif, isn't it? So over here, we will just touch and go. Let's say, that's why everybody, semua pihak, what they need to do, they will need to mementingkan. It means to pay attention. Pemupukan. Pemupukan is the kata nama. Memupuk is the kata kerja. Daya creativity dan inovasi. Okay. What would be the harapan? So that all the goal, sasaran, able to realize, dapat direalisasikan. What are the goal? Melahirkan murid yang berkreatif ataupun berinovasi. Okay, then after that, let us have one more watak. Pihak sekolah. So what the school they can do and what the school they need to do. Let's say we will need to focus more on sukatan pelajaran, the syllabus. Mewujudkan sukatan pelajaran tentang daya kreativiti dan inovasi. So the harapan to dig out the talents, mencengkil daya kreativiti dan inovasi murid. So over here, this is the watak, this is the watak. Cadangan harapan. That's it. Sukatan pelajaran, sukatan is like syllabus. So sukatan pelajaran is like your school, your academic syllabus. So it's like your subject, your mata pelajaran, what you learn in school. Okay, so this is it. Okay, if you're done with this one, then I shall show you the complete paragraph for the pendahuluan, isi, and penutup. Are you finished? You done with it? Is it? I thought it would be like, ngam for you. But then maybe you will need to take out a piece of paper already. Okay, shall we move on to the next one? Can I? So we continue, yeah? All right, so let me show you how I put everything till in a paragraph, like the pendahuluan, isi, and also the penutup. So by looking at this one, okay. Wait, no worries for that first a moment, yeah. Okay, now we may take a picture. No need to copy, but take a picture. No, because the QR, it will be the answers from the books, but then this one is I write out based on the technique, as in based on what I taught you in class just now. That's why you copied out this one so that you know that's how you put everything in the paragraph based on what we have discussed over here. Okay. All right. Because for the AC, the answers here, right, it might be different for all the tutor. So I don't want to confuse the students. That's why in my class, so you take a picture lah, huh? Now, how I do all this is that for the pendahuluan TYEK, remember just now when I say like jelaskan topik. So jelaskan topik is what? We mentioned about the pemupukan daya kreativiti semakin dititik beratkan. Okay? Dalam perkembangan kendiri murid. That why? Because of its very importance in order to membentuk individu yang berketerampilan. That what if it's being ignored? Then of course that our countries will being looked down because of the golongan belia tidak dapat bersaing dengan negara lain. Then the kata kunci here we mentioned that we need to write down the kata kunci, then the topic. After that, we include the peribahasa, isn't it? So this is what we have mentioned just now. Then for the EC, SHYEK. So for SHYEK, whenever you started a paragraph, sebagai lontaran ide yang pertama, then you write down, it will be ibu bapa, what they need to do. Then, how the parents can do so, memberikan pendedahan dan juga melawat ke petrol science. Why they need to do so? To let the kids able to membuka mata, memberikan cetusan ide baharu, so that they will be able to berfikir di luar kotak. Then the effect is there will be disuburkan dengan kecanggihan teknologi so that they will not become kata di bawah tempurung. Ibu bapa berperanan penting. So this is the conclusive part. Then, right now, is the penutup. So I give you another 5 seconds. Whoever that haven't taken a picture, you take a pictures for this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we look at the last paragraph here. So for the penutup here, kesimpulannya, daya kreativiti amat penting dalam kalangan murid dan you explain why memberikan impak yang besar kepada pembangunan negara. Dan it will be your watak semua pihak what they need to do mementingkan pemupukan daya kreativiti dan inovasi so that it will able to melahirkan murid berkreativiti dan inovasi, which is the sasaran. Then the last one, pihak sekolah, they will need to focus on the syllabus, sukatan pelajaran, so that they will able to mencengkir daya kreativiti. So this will be the KCH. No problem. Okay, I give them to take a picture for this first. So everybody 5 seconds. Then later on, I show you the pendahuluan again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can So last round for this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then let's move on. Let's proceed to the next one. All right. So I do a summarize for the essay writing first. Then it will be the TYEK, SHYEK, and KCH. So the karangan umum will finish. But you still remember one thing just now about the karangan pendek. Over here, the karangan pendek. Remember I told you that the penutup is this watak cadangan harapan. And then I asked you to hold on to it later when I do the karangan panjang, the karangan umum I will explain. So this is what I did just now. The watak cadangan harapan, the semua pihak, and also the pihak sekolah, that one. Okay? Alright. Now, for the karangan pendek, you will be getting 2 types of questions. The very first type, umum we finished already. So the very first type, it will be something like this. And I purposely made it as the practice for you. This is a bit like a story-based, like the experience-based essay writing. So whenever you are getting this type of questions, right? Because sometimes you'll be getting something very similar with the ulasan, where they will just give you like, some points in points form, like maybe 3 to 4 points. That's it. Or the poster, that's it. Then you will need to write down the essay. But sometimes it's like this. So there will be like 2 types. One is like the story-based, something like this. The other one is that they give you some points and then you need to further elaborate. So if you are getting this kind of questions, remember the first thing, you cannot change the sequence, okay? You must follow the sequence. Cannot change the sequence mean you must follow the sequence in this way, the zigzag one, okay? Then the second one, do not change the imbohan. Do not change the passive one. You just follow. Basically, just copy and paste everything, but then to insert some linkage for all the dash in between. Copy and paste the words. Do not change the imbohan. And then do not change the sequence. And also, you must use up all the information. You cannot be like, teacher, I don't understand the meaning. Skip this one. No. So, follow the sequence. Use up all the information. Do not change imbohan. Okay? This is what you need to remember. Because a lot of students, they don't know, they will jump the sequence, They might write this first. Okay, then they continue with this one. Okay, then maybe only they come back to this one. It might be. So just to remind you all not to do so. Can I? So basically, this kata dua will finish. Then, right now, I wanted to look into your novel. Novel in terms of how are you supposed to answer. So let me copy this first and then to put it over the question so that you can look at the comparison. All right. I need you to look at the novel question. So please open up to your page 19. Muka surat 19. Okay. Now, in the novel questions, right, you will be given questions like this, where there is like four type of novel, four different books. So you just choose the ones that you read out. So over here, novel berdasarkan satu daripada novel yang telah anda kaji. Nah, like what I mentioned, all the Klang Valleys, the KL and also Selangor, it will be the Tabanan Commander Kopassus. We'll learn it 2 weeks later. Then, watak merupakan pelaku yang menghidupkan cerita. Manakala perwatakan ialah gambaran sifat yang dimiliki oleh watak. Watak is the character, perwatakan is the characteristic. Berdasarkan sebuah novel yang anda pelajari, nyatakan watak utama dan huraikan 3 perwatakan watak tersebut berserta contoh peristiwa yang relevan. Do you see what they want? They ask you to nyatakan. So you will need to list out who is the watak utama first. You cannot direct start by telling the characteristic of it. You will need to list out the watak first. Then 3 characteristic and also the 3 contoh peristiwa that support this characteristic. Let's say, if you want to mention about the main character, seorang yang rajin, seorang yang bertanggungjawab, seorang yang bersopan santun, then you will also need to give on some explanations what happens in the novel that show is someone that's rajin. The character is someone that are very polite. So you will need to give it the example. 10 marks. So the 10 marks here, and then you got 3 perwatakan. So it will basically split in this way, 6 and 4. So the 6 and 4, it will be the isi together with the contoh. The isi here referring to the perwatakan that 1 isi, 1 contoh peristiwa, 2 marks. So you will need to write 3 in total 6 lah. Another 4, it will be the bahasa. And always remember, the novel, a bit low, because it's a fiction story. So, the technique menulis how many paragraph normally I will ask you to write like 1 contoh peristiwa, 1 paragraph. But if your teachers want you to write everything in 1 paragraph, do you need to follow? Of course. So, if your teacher asks you to write everything in the paragraph, then you just follow. Okay? Then you just follow. So let's say this one, the ones that I highlight is very important because for the first sentence, this sentence, let me bracket in pink. You never write it in the novel answering sheets. Then so sorry that you direct start with tajuk soalan. Let's say, for this question, if you direct start with watak utama, ialah Farhani, then you write down the isi already with the contoh, then so sorry, 10 marks gone. Why is it all 10 marks gone? Is because your teachers want you to write down the novel name first together with the penulis. So if you never write down the novel names together with the penulis, then bye-bye. For sure, it's bye-bye. Meaning to say, all gone. So this is very important. Novel yang telah saya kaji ialah Tawanan Komander Kopassus, Kaya Ruzani Yaya. Full stop. Watak utama ialah Farhani. Full stop. 3 perwatakan Farhani, then you write ialah adalah atau termasuklah. How do you know which one to write? If you want to say ialah, make sure after ialah, it can only be kata nama. After adalah, it can only be kata sendi nama or kata adjective. After termasuklah, any of the jenis kata. So basically, it's the kata nama and the kata sendi nama for ialah adalah. And also kata adjective. If you want to use these two, can, but you need to be extra careful. Must be extra careful. Then you write down together with the contoh peristiwa. For all the contoh peristiwa, combined by using penanda wacana. So this is how the bahasa marks. Okay, so this is how you should present your novel answer. Remember, it's very important for you to input the name and also the author name, or else 10 marks gone. Boleh? Faham for the novel? Okay, then. Ulasan is the same as the karangan pendek. So how you normally do the short essay is how you do the ulasan, but just that it will be 80 to 100 words. So the same thing, 1 paragraph, 3 paragraph depends on the teacher. This 1 or 3 depends on your teacher. But no matter 1 or 3, it will be the same as the karangan pendek, pengenalan, jelaskan topik, isi, tersurat and tersirat, penutup, follow watak cadangan harapan. Okay, so it's very similar. It's just a words limit. Then it will come to ringkasans already. Okay, as for ringkasan, although ringkasan is very, very simple, but a lot of students, they will make mistakes. So when they make mistakes, they were not getting more than 8 marks. Ringkasan, I got students get 15 full. So it's possible. But I also understand that there is some school teachers that will never give students full marks. Yes, a lot. So the maximum marks of ringkasan that will give students is 13. Some of them is 14, but majority is 13 now. But it's possible to get full 15. Okay. You flip to the soalan page first. Let me copy down this one. Then the soalan for ringkasan. Okay, so that you can do the comparison. Now, first of all, it's mentioned that the tajuk. So where do you get the tajuk? Ringkasan is super easy because the tajuk is everything here. This is a tajuk. They ask you to write a ringkasan about, then this is a tajuk. So basically these parts, right, you may just copy and paste the whole thing here. Yes, copy and paste the whole thing. But of course, just the first paragraph, you need to be the capital letter lah. The rest no need because this is not the tajuks in your essay writing mah. So usaha-usaha meningkatkan kemahiran berbahasa Inggeris, termasuklah write down your essay. Then all the essay combines by using penanda wacana. Then how many essay you will need to write for ringkasan? Actually, ringkasan is 15 marks off. It was split into 10 and also 5. So one essay is like 2 marks. By right, you will just need to have 5. 5 times 2 ma, 10 no? But the teacher will ask you to do extra, to write extra. So when the school teacher asks you to write extra, then you will need to write like 6 or 7. This one is also depends on the school teacher. Because if it's follow the format, it's only 5. Then 10 plus 5, another 5, it will be penanda wacana. So penanda wacana, satu isi, satu ayat. How are you supposed to combine all the points in a paragraph by using penanda wacana? And how you can remember what are the penanda wacanas that you can use for only isi? Because like kesimpulan, konklusi, it will be the penanda wacanas for the penutup. So remember this one. Tujuh bapak saya ditandas. So tujuh bapak saya ditandas, I need you to remember the BSDT because it refers to the penanda wacana. So the B here referring to bukan, itu sahaja. And the S here, it's referring to selain itu, seterusnya, and also selanjutnya. D is di samping itu. S is tambahan pula, tambahan lagi. But I know that some of the school teachers do not allow students to use tambahan pula, tambahan lagi. Some of them let you use tambahan pula, but not tambahan lagi. There is a lot. So what happened is that you choose the first 5 first. Bukan itu saja, selain itu, seterusnya, selanjutnya, and di samping itu. Tambahan pula, tambahan lagi, don't use it if your teacher don't allow you to do so. Okay? This one you need to be careful a bit. Upper form not really have this kind of problems, but lower form, I heard quite a lot of the teachers that don't allow students use this. Okay, some of them less, but some of them do less. But the upper form is okay. And one thing, you may check with the school teachers whether they accept or not. And one more thing, I also heard my students told me the teachers want them to write down aku sekali for the last point of ringkasan. Aku sekali, basically what's the meaning of aku sekali? Whenever you are writing an essay and the essay is about the step, maybe like this, the steps making the cake lapis, okay? So you will have like the first step, then the second step, okay, the third, the fifth, the fourth, the fifth, then you put it into the oven, then okay, finally already the last step. So basically the last step, we will use aku sekali. But then if your teachers don't allow, but if your teachers want you to write this in the ringkasan, then you follow. Form 2 teacher. So you know the teachers insist, but right now you're Form 3 already, you check with the Form 3 teachers because the Form 3 teachers might be different. Okay, so for the aku sekali, if your school teacher insists, then only you write, or else don't do that because the upper form teachers, they don't really use aku sekali lah. Okay, all right. So this will be the ringkasans writing, and always remember one thing, for the ringkasans for all the sentences, you can never start off with the kata kerja lah. After penanda wacana, cannot start off with kata kerja. Yes, correct, Eri. The QR code there. You try and scan the QR, the last page one. All right, and then I know that there is a lot of you, the teachers do rumusan, because just now when I asked at the beginning of the class, remember, then a lot of you telling me that the teachers still doing rumusan and only do the rumusan, some of you lah. So what is the difference of this rumusan and ringkasan? Now, ringkasan is only one paragraph. It's all about the points without the openings and also the closing. Rumusan is the ones added the openings before the point and the closing after the point. So basically, it's something like this. I write it over here. Let's say if it's a rumusan, then you will need to have an opening. So it's rumusan membincangkan. Can you have membincangkan tentang? Tak boleh because for all the imbuhan men, when you add it with imbuhan I and imbuhan kan, so membincangkan tentang after it cannot put kata sendi nama. So tentang is actually one of the kata sendi nama. So you are not allowed to add tentang after membincangkan. Membincangkan, then over here is the tajuk. And where to find the tajuk? Rumusans will not give it to you. You will need to scan through the question and then to find out the combinations of the kata kunci and also topic. Exactly like your karangan. Okay, so cara, usaha, faktor, this is the kata kunci. Then after that, this part, you copy again the tajuk here. Termasuklah. Okay, then is your point 1 until 6. For the rumusana, it will need to write 6 easy. 6 easy for sure. Okay, why is it 6 easy? Because this will be 15 marks, and the 15 marks, it will be like 10 and 5 as well. 5 is bahasa. So this 10 mark, it will be the pendahuluan 2 marks, and also easy 6 marks. Penutup 2 marks. So the 10 marks derived in this way. So you must have 6 easy. Then this one, kesimpulannya, it will be the same as how we do the essay. Watak, cadangan, harapan. So the watak, cadangan, harapan, this one you may combine by using harus, and this one you may combine by using agar or supaya. And basically this part, it will be exactly the same as this one. So it's the ringkasan part. Where rumusan is just the ringkasan, you add it on with pendahuluan, and that's with penutup. Watak, cadangan, harapan. Question? So this is the rumusan, the difference. So basically, if you know how to do ringkasan, then you will know how to do rumusan as well. You just need to add in the pendahuluan and also penutup. That's it. Okay, guys. Now, so for the novel and also the answers for this booklet, which is your seminar, you may scan through the QR code. There is two QR code. The novel QR code is on your page 19, and the answer one, it will be on your page 23. So basically, we have finished the seminar of the day. But then, if you got any things you wanted to, clarify, anything you want to ask, then you are able to ask me in the chat box, yeah? All right, so whoever, the novel for the Tawanan Commander Konkasus, guys. So if you are my physical and also online students, right, we will do it in week 4. So next week, the coming week, it will be week 3. So there will be one more week. Okay, there will be one more week. Week 4, we will do the novel. Okay, so if you got anything you'd like to clarify, ask me in the chat box. Then I will end the seminar here today. Thank you so much and bye-bye. Good luck in your exam. Boing boing.